Good evening, this is Rashad. I'm coming to you live from my YouTube channel as I continue my part series, the week that was college football history review of the 1981 college football season. I'm going to go over the major bowl games that were played during the 1981 college football season. Let's get into it. Right, we're going to get started with the Independence Bowl that was played on December 12th, 1981, where Texas A&M beat Oklahoma State 33-16. Balance was themed for Aggies, who totaled 223 yards rushing, 225 yards passing, and easily topping Oklahoma State quarterback Gary Kubiak, twice hit, wide receiver Jimmy Williams for touchdowns while completing 7 straight at one point, and 10 for 11 decisive first half, led by Aggies 20-10. Cowboys had taken early 7-0 lead, converting by Texas. A&M halfback Johnny Acton games to play from scrimmage into a 25-yard scoring drive that tailed back Ernest Anderson capped with a 1-yard touchdown run. So teams traded first quarter field goals before a combo. Kubiak and Williams struck for touchdowns of 50 yards and 38 yards. With injury-plagued rushing attack finishing with 70 yards, Cowboys were hard-pressed to stay in the game. Next, in the Garden State Bowl, on December 13th, Tennessee beat Wisconsin 28-21. In the last Garden State Bowl, the clash of styles between Speedy Volunteers and Brawny Badgers went to sleek team. Swift Tennessee wide receivers Anthony Hancock caught 11 passes for 196 yards and 43-yard touchdown. Willie Galt gave team lead for good at 10-7 with an explosive 87-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Quarterback Steve Alatorre happily passed to these two future NFL first rounders. Ringing up 315 yards in the air, Volunteers built a 21-7 lead at halftime, forcing Badgers to give up ground game. Playing their first bowl game in 19 years, Wisconsin offense sputtered until sub-quarterback Randy Wright tossed 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Comeback did. Holiday Bowl. The Holiday Bowl, Brigham Young beat Washington State 38-36. All Cougar matchup looked like a rout for BYU until formula was renewed for always entertaining Holiday Bowl, decided by 4 points in the last 3 years. Playing their first bowl since 1931, Washington State scored a trio of third-quarter touchdowns to cut deficit to 31-28. Starting on own 18-yard line, BYU quarterback Jim McMahon swung momentum on 3rd and 12 pass to tight end Gordon Hudson for 45 yards en route to clinching touchdown. Tailback Scott Pettis' 11-yard catch early in the fourth quarter. Wazoo scored once more on 1-yard run by fullback Mike Martin, but went nowhere on final series. Washington State quarterback Ricky Turner was game-high rusher with 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. I guess we had to keep the tradition of the Holiday Bowl alive, said BYU coach Lavelle Edwards on close finish. Sun Bowl. Oklahoma beat Houston 40-14. Perhaps Houston coach Bill Yeoman didn't have to be so nice. After illegal recruitment, along to quarterback Darryl Shepard, put Cougars on probation. Yeoman helped him transfer to Oklahoma, rushed for 107 yards, and Shepard earned MVP honors and scoring twice. Houston trailed only 10-7 early in the fourth quarter when Cougars running back Robert Dorn raced 60 yards towards Sooner end zone with swing pass from quarterback Lionel Wilson. Defensive back of Oklahoma Albert Watts caught him at 3-yard line and stripped him of ball, which rolled through end zone for touchdown. Sooners went 80 yards, 42 yards on Shepard's brilliant run to his 1-yard keeper that started 30-point deluge. Subbing for injured fullback Stanley Wilson, Sooners fullback Fred Sims rushed for 181 yards on 15 carries and touchdown after only 179 yards in regular year. Houston made 385 yards but still suffered its worst bowl loss ever. In the Gator Bowl, you had North Carolina beating Arkansas by a score of 31-27. Emerging from heavy Jacksonville fog, North Carolina's two-headed tailback duo must have seemed unworthy to Arkansas defense. Tailback Kevin Bryant ran for 148 yards and touchdown, while tailback Ethan Horton ran for 844 yards and 2 touchdowns as Tar Heels built a commanding 31-10 lead. Meanwhile, Arkansas rallied behind quarterback Brad Taylor, scoring game's final 17 points as he threw for 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. Falk affected North Carolina's first touchdown as Hall's Gary Anderson, running back, lost sight of the punt that then hit up man Mike Harris. Defensive back Larry James covered for Tar Heels at Arkansas' 6-yard line to set up Bryant's 1-yard touchdown for 10-7 lead. After the Razorbacks tied game 10-10, Horton scored twice as Heels opened up 3-touchdown lead. North Carolina finished up with a number 9 ranking as ACC put 2 teams in the final top 10 for the first time ever. Next, Liberty Bowl. Ohio State beat Navy 31-28. George Welsh would have liked win in his last game as Navy coach, but he had to be proud of his team's effort because Navy tested favorite Buckeyes, grabbing the 2017 third quarter lead on linebacker Ken Olsen's 20-yard touchdown run, a blocked punt. Ohio State answered with 2 touchdowns. Miracle finish was not to beat as Navy's final touchdown, 1-yard touchdown pass by quarterback Marco Paganelli to tight end Greg Papajohn. A 2-point connection on a 2-point conversion by the same combination could narrow deficit on to 31-28 with 8 seconds left. So Ohio State recovered onside kickoff. Quarterback Art Schlichter had thrown 2 touchdowns and tailback Jimmy Gale ran for 2 touchdowns for Buckeyes, converted turnovers into 24 points. Middy's tailback Eddie Myers ran for 117 yards. We played as well as we can, said Welsh. Peach Bowl, West Virginia beat Florida 26-6. Now, the underdog Mountaineers rolled devastating defense to rout, holding Gaves to 105 yards offense, for 27 yards in first half, led by fullback Dane Conwell's 97 yards. West Virginia surprised Florida by a rush for 194 yards. Mountaineers did not completely abandon pass, but quarterback Oliver Luck took what defense gave him, connected 8 times with tailback Mickey Walczak, including 7-yard touchdown pass for 7-0 in the first quarter lead. Freshman walk-on kicker Paul Woodside also excelled, booting 4 field goals, including game and school record 49-yard field goal. Florida, suffering 6 turnovers and allowing 6 sacks, may have lost game before opening kickoff. We might have been overconfident, said Gators linebacker Wilbur Marshall. We didn't think they were as good as some of the teams we played. Next, the Hall of Fame Bowl. Mississippi State beat Kansas 10-0. Fans had to be on time on winning points, as winning points were scored when Mississippi State quarterback John Bond raced 17 yards to end zone on an option keeper on first play from scrimmage. Plays followed fumble by Kansas corner kick returner Darren Green on opening kickoff after being stripped of ball with recovery by Bulldog safety Rob Freshmeyer. Game's only other score was 22-yard field goal by kicker Dana Moore, thanks to 7 sacks by defense, 236 yards rushing by offense, 49 yards punting average by Moore. Bulldogs controlled field position. Jay Hart's missed. Injured quarterback Frank Sewell, as reserve quarterback Steve Smith and Mick Frederick managed 171 yards passing, but were unable to move Kansas past Mississippi State 35-yard line until late in the fourth quarter. Blue Bonnet Bowl. Michigan beat UCLA 33-14. Like May Day in Moscow, Michigan's weaponry was on full display. At one point, it enjoyed 212 yards to 0 yards edge in offense. Wolverines tailback Butch Woolfolk ran for 186 yards touchdown, while receiver Anthony Carter caught 6 passes, 127 yards in a touchdown. Quarterback Steve Smith completed 9 for 15, 152 yards in a touchdown, with another touchdown running. And in Michigan outgained UCLA 488 yards to 195 yards and nearly doubled UCLA's first downs. Now, Bruins quarterback Tom Ramsey fired 2 touchdown passes in the second half. Game had been delayed as catches argued over use of visible 25 seconds clock. Big Ten rules prevailed. Clock went unused. Michigan won its second bowl game in same calendar year, including past January's Rose Bowl after dropping first bowls under Coach Bo Schembechler. Fiesta Bowl. Penn State beat Southern California 26-10. Outstanding back was showcased in Fiesta Bowl, but not Heisman winner tailback Marcus Allen of USC, as Allen was held to 30 carries for 85 yards. New low for season. Penn State tailback Kurt Warner raced for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. Allen also coughed the ball up twice. Led to 10 points for Lions. Without being hit, Allen lost fumble on game's opening play. Warning Bolt to 17 yards for touchdown. 2 plays later for 7-0 lead. Warren's feat was no surprise, not after torching Nebraska for the 2 yards, but he proved to be recovered from hamstring that hobbled him. Now, meanwhile, Penn State defense was slowing Southern California with 5 sacks, 4 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries. 1 quarterback knocked out. Linebacker Chet Vecchio had 15 tackles sent. Quarterback John Mazur to sidelines with slight concussions. The only USC touchdown came on linebacker Chip Banks' 20-yard interception that tied score at 7-7. Lions took lead for good at 14-7. On quarterback Todd Black's 52-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Greg Garrity, who used all of his ability to reel in pass. The Cotton Bowl. Texas beat Alabama 14-12. Alabama could not hold off the Longhorns, who scored twice in the 4th quarter. Texas quarterback Robert Brewer took advantage of over-aggressive Bama defense, which had 10 sacks with 30-yard touchdown scamper on a delayed draw for touchdown number 1. On a winning drive, Brewer hit tight end Lawrence Sampleton twice for 37 yards and 19 yards, and wide receiver Donnie Little for 8 yards to set up fullback Tory Orr's 8-yard touchdown run. His only score of year for 14-10 lead with 2:05 left. Now, wide receiver Joey Jones put Ty back in business with 61-yard return. And with soon kickoff quarterback Walter Lewis, who rushed for 79 yards in 3rd quarter. Soon threw interceptions to safety William Graham at 1-yard line after playing man coverage all day. Longhorn secondary went to zone, and Graham surprised wide receiver Tim Clark by reaching out at last moment for interception with 1:48 to go. Texas then ran 3 quarterback sneaks, surrendered safety, and punted out of danger. Now, Bama's sole touchdown had been Lewis's 6-yard pass to wide receiver Jesse Bendros in 2nd quarter. Both teams were at least less than full strength due to injuries and suspensions. So when linebacker Robbie Jones left with hand injury, Todd was without his 3 leading tacklers. Alabama defensive end Rush Wood made 4 sacks. Texas raised its record to 7-0-1 all-time against Alabama, while Brewer joined father Charlie as victors over Coach Bear Bryant. Elder Brewer led the Horns over Bryant's Texas A&M squad in 1955. Rose Bowl. Washington beat Iowa in a shutout 20-0. Freshman running back Jock Robinson threw a coming out party and 100,000 attended. Robinson had gained only 177 yards rushing during the season, but came off bench to race through Iowa for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. Huskies piled up 186 yards on ground against nation's number 5 ranked run defense that has surrendered 87 yards per game on average. After the scoreless 1st quarter, Robinson, who had zoomed up depth chart during USC practice week with impersonation of Marcus Allen, ran 7 times in an 11-play, 65-yard touchdown drive. Huskies scored again later in the 1st half after Hawkeyes failed to convert 4th and 7 pass at Washington 4-yard line. Quarterback Steve Pelluer hit passes of 18 yards and 20 yards to favorite target wide receiver Paul Scanzi and Drew passing the French penalty in end zone. Fullback Vince Cosby scored from 1 yard out. Despite every trick played, Coach Hayden Fry could muster. Iowa never threatened in the 2nd half, had his best, and drive in on interception after reaching Huskies' 29-yard line. Iowa quarterback Gordy Bohannon suffered terribly in return to native Pasadena, completing 6 of 14, 33 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 lost fumbles, fullback Noam Granger was team's leading ground gainer with 13 carries for 80 yards. Fry called it an old-fashioned rump kicking. We got two more games to talk about. Got the Sugar Bowl next to talk about. In the Sugar Bowl, Pittsburgh beat Georgia 24-20. Georgia coach Vince Dooley decided to blitz Pittsburgh quarterback Dan Marino on late fourth down play and paid some price NFL coaches would pay in the future. As his offensive line helped pick up blitzers, Marino found tight end John Brown alone for a perfect 33-yard touchdown pass with 35 seconds left to cap winning drive. The Bulldogs were seconds away from his victory in game in which they were outgained 469-224, had 16 fewer first downs. Although held to under 100 yards for only time this season, Georgia tailback Herschel Walker scored 2 touchdowns for opportunistic offense that converted fumble recoveries deep in Panther territory into both Walker's touchdowns. Herschel Walker had 25 carries for 84 yards. Bulldogs saved best drive for late in the fourth quarter, taking 20-17 lead on quarterback Buck Belew's 6-yard scoring pass to tight end Clarence K. Panthers should have been well ahead, but for 5 turnovers and 14 penalties and 96 yards, Marino's cool demeanor prevailed, and he ran for 8 yards on 4th and 4 during winning drive. Tailback Brian Thomas led Panthers' rush attack with 129 yards, making up for his lost fumble. And finally, the Orange Bowl. Clemson beat Nebraska for 22-15. Ready or not, out of ACC considered to be basketball conference, stormed #1 Clemson going for national title. Clemson, unbeaten for the first time in 33 years, had wins over top 10 teams like Georgia, North Carolina, and now Nebraska. Once again, Tigers' punching defense set the tone, while unheralded quarterback Homer Jordan, played his typically solid game, winning MVP. Cornhuskers quarterback Mark Maurer entered with banged-up arm and threw for only 38 yards on 5 of 15 passes. That wasn't good enough against a defense of Clemson that trumped running attacks, only giving up 88.7 yards per game on average against the run. Nebraska's frustrated offense was able to score in first quarter as I-back Mike Rozier pulled up on a sweep and threw a 25-yard touchdown pass to wingback Anthony Stills over surprise Tigers safety Terry Kennard. Tigers took advantage of good field position to grab 12-7 halftime lead behind a 2-yard touchdown run by tailback Cliff Alston and pair of kicker Donald Awegbuke's 3 field goals. Winning points came on 13-yard hookup in third quarter between Jordan and wide receiver Perry Toto. Clemson stretched lead to 22-7 before Huskers woke up their best drive of the game, 69 yards that was capped by a 26-yard touchdown sweep by I-back Roger Craig. Then Nebraska still earned 2-point conversion on Craig's even, though penalty pushed them back to 8-yard line. Clemson ate up 5-18 of last 5-24, with Jordan scrambling for 23 yards on third and 4, and on territory final 2 minutes. By game's end, Tigers defense could count 8 of 12 Huskers series ending in 3 and outs. Clemson's season 7th total different top-ranked team became only the 6th school from ACC to win a national championship since Maryland captured it in conference's inaugural 1953 season. So includes a look at the bowl games that were played on 1981. Bowl games, let's get into statistics. First one was getting to the AP poll for 1981. The final AP poll for January 3rd. On January 3rd, the final poll: Oklahoma number 20, 19 Missouri, 18 Iowa, 17 West Virginia, 16 Arizona State, 15 Ohio State, Southern California, 14, 13 Brigham Young, 12 Michigan, number 11 Nebraska, number 10 was Washington, number 9 North Carolina, number 8 was Miami, 7 was Alabama, number 6 Georgia, and number 5 Southern Methodist, number 4 Pittsburgh, 3 Penn State, Texas 2, and Clemson's number 1. The top performance formula for 1981 was Clemson, 1.7203. Top opponent's record for 1981 was Penn State, 6.774. 1981 out of conference records. The best record was from the Southwest Conference, 15-10-1 record with a 5.962 percentage, 2-2 in a bowl game. The nation's leading rusher for 1981 was Marcus Allen, 403 attempts for 2,342 yards, averaging 5.8 yards a carry. Passing yards was led by Jim McMahon. Brigham Young, 272 completions, 423 attempts, 3,555 yards, and 64.3% completion for his passes. And finally, wide receivers. The receiving yards was led by Jim Sandusky, UNLV. Caught 68 passes for 1,346 yards. Let's look at the 1981 consensus All-American team. This is the 1981 consensus All-American team. At wide receiver, Anthony Carter with Michigan. Tight end, Tim Reitman, UCLA. The offensive line, Sean Farrell, Penn State. Roy Foster, Southern California. Terry Crouch, Oklahoma. Ed Maransky, Michigan. Terry Toss, Texas. Kurt Becker, Michigan. Center position was Dave Remington, Nebraska. Quarterback, Jim McMahon, BYU. Running backs, Marcus Allen, Southern California. Herschel Walker, Georgia. The defensive lines start with Billy Ray Smith, Arkansas. Kenneth Sims, Texas. Andre Tippett, Iowa. Tim Conrad, Wisconsin. The linebackers, Bob Crable, Notre Dame. Jeff Davis, Clemson. Sal Sensory, Pittsburgh. The defensive backfield, the secondary, Tommy Wilcox, Alabama. Mike Richardson, Arizona State. Terry Kennard, Clemson. Fred Marion, Miami. And the punter was Reggie Roby. Heisman Trophy vote. Marcus Allen won the Heisman Trophy. Senior tailback from Southern California won the Heisman Trophy in 1981 with 1,797 votes. Finishing second was Herschel Walker, sophomore tailback of Georgia. Finished with 1,199 votes. Jim McMahon, senior quarterback of Brigham Young, finished with 706 votes. Dan Marino was the junior quarterback. Pittsburgh finished with 256 votes and 149 votes. Finishing fifth was Art Sleester, senior quarterback of Ohio State. Other major award wins for 1981 college football season. Maxwell Player of the Year award went to Marcus Allen. He also won the Walter Camp Award. Dave Remington's junior center, Nebraska, won Outland Lineman Trophy Award. Lombardi Lineman Award went to Kenneth Sims. Jim McMahon won the Davey O'Brien Award. And Danny Ford of Clemson was the AFCA Coach of the Year. So that includes a look at the 1981 college football season as a whole overall. The major bowl games and also the stats and the All-American team, the vote-getting Heisman Trophy, all the award winners that won, statistics, everything, etc., etc. I'll do a video with Smack 2 tomorrow to talk about the overview of the 1982 college football season, including Week 1 and the milestones that took place, the longest winning streaks, coaching changes, things of that nature. So I'll move forward into the 1982 college football season. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. Do a video with Smack 2 tomorrow. Until then, talk to you soon.